Hey, Namaskaram, how are you? It is your boy, the professor. What's up? What's up, India? I have a video here about the extension that is coming to India for lockdown. My sources are telling me that it could be another month that India is locked down. I've heard as short as 2 weeks, but I think it's really coming. Which is unfortunate. You guys got a lot of people to have locked down. A lot of people. So, if that's the case, make yourself comfortable. Watch our videos. A couple messages too. Number one, my friend Sid, who is he would tell you he is from Bombay, and I love when he says Bombay because it just sounds so old school Indian, you know. He lives in Washington D.C. and he's been doing videos, and we're gonna be producing a radio show for him, and we're gonna be doing panel discussions with him. I'm looking forward to that. That ought to be good. Keep an eye open for that. And then Joker Face Entertainment. Joker Face Entertainment. Who are you? I keep getting emails from you, Joker Face Entertainment, and I'm not sure what do you want from me? Are you asking me for help? Are you roasting me? What are you doing, Joker Face Entertainment? I went and found your YouTube page. And you have some clever short films, and I love short films. And there are people popping up in the comments who are saying, react to Joker Face, and I'm like, who are these people? So, Joker Face, I've emailed you. The ball is in your court. Let's take a look at what we got here. Is sources say Modi is considering extending the lockdown. Are you guys ready to hear about this?
Welcome. Let's take a look at some breaking news coming in. The latest coming in from India, the central government is considering to extend the nationwide lockdown for 2 more weeks. Prime Minister Narendra Modi held a video conference with the chief ministers of all states and union territories on the decision to extend the lockdown. And according to sources, Prime Minister Modi is considering to extend the pan-India lockdown. Meanwhile, the Chief Minister of New Delhi, Arvind Kejriwal, has tweeted thanking the Prime Minister for his decision to extend the lockdown. Kejriwal tweeted, and I quote, Prime Minister has taken the correct decision to extend the lockdown. Now, today, India's position is better than many developed countries because we started lockdown early. If it is stopped now, all gains would be lost. To consolidate, it is important to extend it, unquote. Now, many states have said that they want to extend the lockdown, while Odisha and Punjab have already announced an extension. India has 7,447 coronavirus cases and 239 people have died. Meanwhile, 40 deaths and 1,035 new cases have been reported in just the last 24 hours in the country, which is the sharpest ever increase in cases. For more insight on this, let's go across to our political editor, Kartikeya Sharma, on the phone line with us. Good afternoon to you, Kartikeya. According to our sources, Prime Minister Modi is now considering to extend the pan-India lockdown. What are the latest details you have for us?
Good afternoon, Alison. Our sources have confirmed to us that most of the chief ministers today, in the meeting with the Prime Minister, requested him that the lockdown should continue for at least 14 to 15 days. Now, there is a method to this lockdown, though the request has come for 2 weeks, but I think the lockdown, because of festivals and the way weeks are going to pan out, may last for 18 days. For example, the May 1st is the May Day, which is a gazetted holiday. Now, the May 1st is supposed to be followed by Saturday and Sunday, which again are 2 holidays. So what we are looking at is that on 15, when the lockdown was supposed to end, a day before, Prime Minister is expected to announce that there is going to be an extension of lockdown because various state governments feel that we are going to fritter away the benefits, which means that India will go in for a lockdown of 21 plus 15 days, which is very little less than what we have witnessed in Wuhan or what other economies are witnessing who are extending lockdowns. So in a way, I think if we just go for a 15 plus 21 day lockdown, it's not a big lockdown, it's a small lockdown.
Are they
Wuhan
on Zoom?
underwent 70 plus day of lockdown. Many other countries are going for 49 days of lockdown. But then India, because of the density of population, has an issue of economy. And, you know, if we are talking about economy, we are talking about GDP. And if we do not have an economic system kicking back into cycle, it's ultimately going to affect poor people. So the imperative in front of the Prime Minister is to balance the interest of the poor people, saving their lives, but also ensuring that they do not become jobless so that the rural market does not have a purchasing power, which ultimately shrinks at GDP, which ultimately creates a bigger cycle of which in economy is, say, a vicious cycle of growth. We need to turn back into a virtuous cycle of growth. At the same time, ensuring that the poor people or everyone does not suffer from the COVID-19 pandemic. So as of now, the suggestions will be sought from these chief ministers in written. Prime Minister has very categorically said, write to me, give it to me. Now, India is a federal system. State governments can even extend the lockdown even if the central government is not of the view, because law and order and public health is part of the state, and state can take a call on this. So in that context, I think there is going to be an address to the nation in which Prime Minister is going to explain as to why this feedback has come and what he wants to do with this feedback, which is a 2-week feedback for extension. A lot of states are already on the cusp of officially announcing it. Some have already announced it, like Punjab, where they believe that the lockdown should be extended at the end of this month. But the bigger picture, I would say, for India is to flatten the curve. You know, America, Spain, Italy have not been able to flatten the curve. India is on verge of which we are saying is a phase 3. We have that window of 7 days. We can either flatten the curve or we can actually walk the treacherous path of the Western economies. So I think there is a civil society support for the Prime Minister. Prime Minister very shortly, I wouldn't say today, maybe tomorrow, will be making an announcement or day after tomorrow after receiving written consultations from the Chief Ministers. Hints have already dropped in from Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. So we are witnessing, or we are seeing a clear extension of lockdown in India, which means 15 more days we will have to settle in so that the cluster cases are isolated, people are quarantined, and community transmission does not take place, which we are witnessing in places like New York, Paris, and London.
Absolutely. And as you've said, several chief ministers have called for this lockdown to be extended. We have been receiving the daily updates from the Health Ministry and also hearing from the Minister of Health yesterday. This lockdown is a preventative measure and it is something that has been seen to work. What if it is stopped now, as Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has said, all gains would be lost in India?
Well, when Arvind Kejriwal says that all gains will be lost in India, basically he's saying that if they allow people to come out and if we resume normal economic and social activity, the cluster, or I would say the community contagion might take place. Community contagion in a country like India, which is 130 crores strong, will be very difficult to prevent. We are not like South Korea. They were able to prevent the community transmission through testing method. They tested 12,000 people per day. India cannot do that. We have gone through the model and we have chosen for ourselves the isolation model. So we test randomly, but we have not gone for hefty, heavy-duty 12,000 per day testing. We are going for an isolation path, which the Prime Minister had very specifically mentioned in his last address to the nation, that we're going to isolate people. We're going to ensure that there's going to be door-to-door checking. Our method is Bhilwara model, where you stop people, isolate them, ensure that those who are sick are taken off. Now, the larger picture here is that how will India intend to come out of it? My understanding is that even after the lockdown, certain restrictions will be in place, and Prime Minister, as hinted very categorically, he will be coming out of the lockdown in a phased manner, which means that there will be districts where there are no cases, so economic activity will be allowed, but the districts might be sealed off. There will be places where economic activity and the commerce might be allowed, but then there will be no rail transport or air transport or car transport. For example, the Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh said that, after some time, we should be allowed to do commerce in the state, but air, bus, car, railway traffic should be prevented, should not be allowed to function. So we are looking at a graded response after 30th of April, which means that some form of lockdown, Alison, some form of modicum of lockdown, or the word maybe restriction, will be in place when it comes to mass transport or community attendance, for example, like restaurants or malls. Those might not be in operation for some time now, but normal economic activity may resume, which will ensure that the poor people will have money in their hands to spend.
Right. Kartikeya, thank you very much for that report. That is our political editor, Kartikeya Sharma, bringing us the latest on the expected lockdown extension. And now we are coming to you live from...
Very good update. Very good update. I know here in the States, here in America, we are talking about lifting it in May. A rolling lift. Where I live at in Arizona, the impact has been mild compared to other parts of the nation. The West seems to be doing better. People are saying because of the heat, but we haven't really gotten hot yet. We've had winter-like temperatures here for a while. So be curious to see what happens here. My friends in India, be safe. Be of good cheer. And watch a lot of videos. I'll catch you guys later. Peace and much love.
नमस्ते दोस्तों, अगर आप ये सोच रहे होंगे कि प्रोफेसर के शो में मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ और मैं कौन हूँ, तो मैं आपको बता दूं, मैं वही हूँ जिसके बारे में प्रोफेसर ने आपसे कई बार बात की है और मेरे बारे में बताया है। जी हाँ, मैं उनका बहुत अच्छा मित्र, बहुत अच्छा दोस्त हूँ और मुझे लोग सिड के नाम से जानते हैं और मैं एक इंडियन अमेरिकन हूँ। हम यहाँ पर प्रो इंडिया, प्रो भारत, प्रो हिंदू कॉजेस के लिए काम करते हैं, चाहे हिंदुस्तान में हो या अमेरिका में। और हमारा खुद का एक चैनल है इंडस लेंस, तो आप उसके लिए प्लीज़ 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 हमारे यूट्यूब चैनल इंडस लेंस को सब्सक्राइब करें। और जैसे प्रोफेसर ने आपको बताया, मैंने और उनके साथ पहले कोई रेडियो शोज किए हैं। अब हम फिर से जो इंडस लेंस के इंटरव्यूज़ और रिव्यूज़ हम करते हैं जो प्रो इंडिया, प्रो हिंदू इश्यूज़ पर, हम वो darkskyradio.com पर फीचर करने जा रहे हैं। तो आप ज़रूर सब्सक्राइब करें हमारे इंडस लैंड यूट्यूब चैनल को और ज़रूर हमारे रेडियो शोज़ को darkskyradio.com पर ज़रूर सुनिए। नमस्ते, जय हिंद।